There was just some moments in those fight scenes where I was like, oh!
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And we are here to give you our review for John Wick Chapter 2. Kung Fu and all.
Yeah.
Alright, so this movie, it is once again directed by Chad Stahelski. I may be saying that wrong, but he did direct the first John Wick back in 2014. I think the timing is just right for this film because the original didn't really do that well in theaters.
Yeah,
like, people didn't really know about it.
But it hit hard, I think, with the people who did see it. And a lot of people were like, where did this come from? This is awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people. I didn't see it. And I in fact, didn't even know that it was in theaters back in 2014. So I saw it on DVD, and then I was like, I can't believe I didn't get to see this in theaters.
How did we not see this?
So now we got to see, Chapter 2 in theaters, seeing all the action pieces, really, larger than life right in front of you. This movie, the premise is John Wick. Obviously, if you saw the first movie, you saw where it left off. It's him wanting to go back into to be retired, not wanting to go back into this like secret society of assassins, wanting to get out. But it's one of those things like once you're in, you can't really get out, and he's got this thing he's gonna kind of repay, this marker. You'll see a little bit more in the movie. They kind of tell you in the trailer.
And that's something I actually really liked. That it kind of picked up right where it left off. It kind of told you, it gave you a little bit of history just in case you didn't see the first John Wick. Because, apparently not that many people did. But it kind of went very easily. Okay, what happened in the last movie? Now let's move forward. And why was he doing what he did before? Mm-hmm. And it gave you, for the first 10 minutes, they're done.
And I think that's really good for a sequel, so the people who walk into Chapter 2 didn't, get to see the first one wouldn't be 100% lost because they gave you the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, and they also showed what he could do.
Yes.
So you know why they called him the Boogeyman and everything.
Speaking of what he can do, talk about the movie starting off with a bang. I mean, it brings you in on a high. It's action-packed right off the beginning, which I appreciate because you don't go into John Wick for, like, dramatic moments and Oscar-worthy acting. Not saying the acting's bad at all, but I'm just saying, if you're walking into John Wick, you want to see some gunfighting, you want to see some action,
some really cool car chases.
Yeah, you want to see all the good stuff. You're not in there for like the dramatic things that they happen to have in a movie. So I am completely satisfied seeing this movie. What were some of your favorite parts?
Well, I actually really liked later on in the movie when they started to get, not trying to get into spoilers, but there's a moment when there's a lot of different people that are coming at John Wick, and when they kind of have like this, okay, there's this fight, then there's this fight, then there's this fight, and it's how each fight has like their own special uniqueness to it that I think is
a signature to all of each fight piece,
and how each fight is, it's almost like each fight is a different style almost that he has to overcome. There was just some moments in those fight scenes where I was like, oh! I think they were a lot of fun. They really get you watching because they do a lot of master shots in this. And, with Wendy and I having a little bit of background in fight choreography, it's good to see that they're actually taking their time. They're putting these things together. They have the right technique where you can actually pull out and see the entire fight instead of being like right here, up in your face, moving cam, shaky cam.
And just going back real quick about what you said with the master shots, the reason they're able to do that is because Keanu Reeves is so dedicated to all the rehearsals that he's had. I talked to the guys from 8711 who are the people who did the stunts for the first John Wick and this one, and they say he shows up every time they have a fight rehearsal. He shows up for driving lessons. He shows up for gun training. And when an actor commits that much, you're able to use him in all the stunt pieces that are saving up for him to be in without having to do, facial, replacement, or let's use a stunt double, and then you can't show the master, because when you show the master, it's uncut, and it's real, and it's raw, and for a movie like John Wick, that works. For me, you already talked about the fight scenes. Obviously, that's a favorite.
It's kind of what the movie is.
My favorite was seeing the inner workings of the Continental a little bit more.
Oh yeah, because you really like the rules.
I like, there's specific guidelines for the Continental and for this secret society of assassins and how that works. I also like the montage of him prepping to go and do his job. The little hints of lingos when they talk to each other, like, it's pretty fascinating. I like, seeing him getting his suit tailored, him picking out his weapons, again with the lingos. I found that all completely fascinating, and I loved that they focused a lot more on that this time. And I want to also talk about the set design. They were all very massive, grand, and the final one where the final scene,
oh my gosh,
it was kind of trippy to look at, and it's just really, to me, it's really amazing how the camera guys had to shoot around that, because if you know anything about shooting a movie in this specific setting, you can run, cameraman, but you can't hide. So when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's in the third act. So a very important question, Dustin, about this movie is, was John Wick Chapter 2 better than the first John Wick?
What I liked better about John Wick was the action. I think they totally just delved right into it. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They knew what the fans wanted, and they're like, all right, let's just pump that up 100%, and they hit it right on the head. The fight scenes are incredible. The chase scenes are amazing. The sets and everything, the locations are great and cool. What about you?
Well, for me, while I really appreciated what this movie did, where it picked up from where the first one left off, and it continued the story forward where it wasn't trying to be something else. It wasn't trying to be reborn John Wick and let's go this completely different direction. It stayed in the world, and it gave you, some of the characters came back, and I love and appreciate that. But for me, the first one was really something special, and while the second one is great, I like the first one just a little bit more. So we talked a lot about what we loved about this movie, and we both seem to like the first one just a little bit more than the second one, which is not a bad thing, because, man, the first one was really great, and we still like the second one. Now let's talk about something that we had some slight problems with. For me, I think I know what you want to say, so I'll leave that to you. For me, and I'm nitpicking, you guys, okay? Keyword nitpicking. There are a lot of scenes where a fight scene, they're in a public space. I'll just say that. And people just keep moving on like there's no fighting or a bloody man walking through the crowd. There's just no reaction. Or if there was one scene, because they were all enclosed in one area, I got some reaction from the extras. But aside from that one scene in a contained area, the rest was very much like they were just ignoring. I was like, so is this like the Matrix, where like they're in the Matrix and then everyone else just don't notice? Or like what's up with that? So that, when I saw, it was just so obvious. I wouldn't have picked it up, but it was so obvious. I was just like, oh, hey, bloody guy, how you doing?
Yeah, it didn't really bother me.
I'm gonna go back to checking my phone. I'm like,
it kind of bothered me.
You can't all be assassins. You can't all be in the secret society. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called a secret society. React!
The whole world is assassins.
As Christian would say, acting. It's acting.
And I like it. There was a moment that they kind of made fun of it, but I'm sitting here going, really? No one knows what this sounds like, and they're just like, hey, what was that?
I kind of like that scene, though.
Yeah, I know. Honestly,
is that the walking scene?
Yeah, the walking.
I kind of like when you guys see it. I appreciated that. That one, I was like, I'll let this one go because I enjoyed it.
Me too, because I enjoyed it. But but a part of me in my back of my brain was going, are these people just that stupid? And they don't get Matrix. It. A lot of my problems that also happened with it was that they did things that seemed not natural, like and anyone would go, that's not a good idea, don't do it that way. But they did it in order to kind of progress the story forward and to be able to have this awesome shootout, where I'm like, no, you would do it a little bit like from afar, or once this happens, get out of there. Don't go, I'm going to go through the big crowd of people, kind of a thing. So, but once again, don't go into the movie expecting polished, realistic scenarios. You go in there looking for action and incredible fight scenes. So, and on that level, this movie fulfilled 100%.
So if you were to give a score for this movie, what would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, I think I'd give it like a good solid 8. Maybe a little bit lower, but definitely above a 7.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I don't want to be one of those people that's like, a 7.8 So I'm going to go ahead and give this movie an 8 out of 10. Well, you guys, that's it for this review. John Wick Chapter 2 comes out in theaters on February 10th, so we hope you go see it in theaters. If you like this review, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, comment below your thoughts when you're done seeing the movie. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.